Hey, welcome back to the Geek Kings YouTube. Today, we're going to be checking out my collection. Now, the reason why we're checking this out now, finally, is because we're starting to pack everything up. So, a lot of the surfaces may look a little bit emptier than normal. More often than not, a lot of the surfaces are going to look more packed than normal. However, when we leave the room, when we go into my podcast studio, you're going to see a lot of empty surfaces on the bookshelves and stuff like that. But in my room, I haven't touched too much. I've just kind of made a couple messes on a couple countertops. And so before I start to pack everything up, I was like, I want to do a video. I want to sit down and I just want to go over everything, show everyone my entire collection. I collect Funko Pops, Lego, statues, action figures, props, a lot of different stuff. And so I wanted to go over all of that in this YouTube video and actually show you guys. And I'm really excited to get into it. I know it's going to look a little bit messy, and that's okay. I mean, I don't care too much. I know it's messy. I got a couple of countertops to clean off, mostly because of the move. However, there are some things where it's just so overcrowded. And so that's another big reason why I want to go over this, because I don't know after the move what is coming with me. I don't know what's going to be displayed, what's going to be in storage. I don't know what's going to be gotten rid of because I just don't need it, and sold. So we're going to go over everything in this video. And yeah, you're going to see my room, you're going to see my podcast studio, and you're going to see right outside my room where I keep some other collectibles. I'm very excited to show it off, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and just get a little bit inspired maybe by some of the different collectibles I have. So yeah, let's get straight into it. To try and keep it brief, this I made when I was in high school, and I took some woodworking classes. And I absolutely love it. It is currently connected to my Alexa. This I purchased very recently, within the past year, because Battlefront is one of the most influential games. I absolutely loved it. It was one of my favorites as a kid, and now it just kind of sits here next to a couple of lightsabers and Lucille, as well as a sword. And then next to that, we have this. We've got some pop figures in it, some signed ones, some just cool ones from some of my favorite games and all of that. I tried to keep it pretty well organized and themed. On top we have some Lego sets, my Y-Wing Starfighter, which is one of my favorites. We got the X-Wing, and then we got Zane's mechs. Those are some binders from Galaxy's Edge. And then we have the Walking Dead Season 2 disc set, which is just a zombie head, and you can open it up. The screwdriver locks it and unlocks it. So that's really nice. As you move down, we have some action figures, some statues, some Lego figures. There is a light, however, it looks like I'm going to need to change the batteries, which is fine because everything's moving now. And then just some Iron Man stuff. We got Wolverine and Deadpool. And yeah, right under that we have some more Funko Pops. We have what used to be a Robert Kirkman shelf filled with The Walking Dead and Invincible, but now Invincible has moved upstairs, and I will show you that in a bit. However, now we just have The Walking Dead. In front of it, we still have Homelander. It's such a beautiful figure. I picked it up from Rhode Island Comic Con, and it just looks great. And then we have all of these pop figures, the two Matt Murdock ones, which look awesome. We have the Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield's, and then we have Dean from Supernatural. We have Dr. Ian Malcolm, and we have Deadpool, all in like the laying down kind of poses. And then we have a Doctor Strange statue. Moving down once again, we get into the more mixed match pop figures, which is starting to be blocked by my gaming chair, so let me move that out of the way a little bit. Now it's just kind of a hot mess. We got a bunch of different stuff going on. However, below that, we do still have the theme of video games. We have a couple from The Witcher. Even though one of them is the show, it's still The Witcher, which I would still classify as a video game. We have Sonic, we have Destiny, we have Halo, and we have Minecraft. The reason why it's mostly displayed in my YouTube videos is because I typically record right in this chair with this background. You can't always see up to this Death Star wall, but that's fine with me. I do want it to be seen in videos more, so I'm hoping that when I move, I'm able to make that work, but we'll find out later. But I'm always sitting at my desk, typically, when I'm making videos down here. Which, my desk, which I'm going to show you now, is atrocious. It's a mess. It's got a bunch of stuff on it because I'm organizing minifigures, I'm getting ready to pack up action figures and stuff like that. So, bear that in mind. That's another tabletop that's a mess because of moving. We got a couple books on there, and yeah, I'll explain everything when I show you. So if we look up here, we have a Lego collection that I'm currently trying to organize. This is a rooftop to one of my mocks that I'm making. And then we just have a couple of books that I need to organize. We have my Pokemon sets. And then we just have some random stuff here that I didn't know where to put while I was starting to pack up. And that kind of is a nice spot for it. Typically, it's just the Pokemon sets, the Iron Man art, and then the lightsaber. Everything else is just there temporarily to pack. And this is the mess in front of me. This has to move. This is an action figure bag that I'm going to be using to fit all my DC figures in on that Batman shelf. And then as we look around, we have my computer and then a notebook for some organization. We have a couple of random things here. A lighter for my incense burner, which I love that incense burner. It's probably one of my favorite collectibles that I own. And then, yeah, you see like a bunch of Lego figures here. This Lego stand and this Lego stand are not typically here. Everything else, for the most part, kind of is, but a bit more organized. And then right above that, we have some more organized figure stuff. This is a part of my minifigure station. We have hairs, and then we have hats, and then we have weapons. Different accessories are all in here. For example, this one is like food and then life creatures and stuff like that. Either the minifigures or stuff like that. And then these are all random parts that I just have some abundance of, or some like that I use a lot. For example, I love these foliage pieces, and then we have another drawer filled with foliage pieces in here, all organized. I love how satisfying that is, having them all organized. And yeah, I mean, this part is really the worst of the messes, because I just have stuff everywhere on my desk, because when I don't have a spot for it, it goes on my desk to figure it out later. And later has not come until now. So yeah, there's that. This is all pieces of my city, and then some of the things where, like, I need to move it. I just haven't yet. That's a good example. This 1999 Snowspeeder is a good example. And then this just needs to go back into one of the drawers. I just needed to grab a pencil, and so that was there. But moving on, like I kind of mentioned, this is meant to be stuff for my city. So a lot of the vehicles that I'll put in my city here, the garbage truck, I definitely want to throw in the Jurassic Park Jeep. And then we have my 3 modular buildings here. As we move on, there's going to be a lot more Lego sets on display. And here, I'm going to turn off the fan because I don't want it to blow straight into the microphone while I move down to show you guys my Squishmallows and pillows and stuff. Because, man, I got so many Squishmallows. I do. I love them. I can't get enough of them. Most of them are going to be references. So, like, this one is Pascal from Tangled. We just have a nice grilled cheese sandwich here, though. We have the Gryffindor lion. We have a nice cheeseburger. And then up here we have apple juice, because I'm type 1 diabetic. So apple juice is like a lifesaver to me if I have low blood sugar. And then over here we'll have Pikachu. And then behind Pikachu, there should be a Togepi, which you can just barely see behind his ear. But yeah, that is up there. And those two are the only Squishmallows I keep on my bed. But as we move on, we have this mini bookshelf, which I don't really use for collectibles. I mostly use it for organization for my books and then Lego builds. However, we do have 3 pop figures here. And then on the top, I do use it for a little bit of displays, which I absolutely love. This is one of my favorite displays because it is somewhat minimalist, but it's a little crowded, I guess. But we have the nice Magneto helmet. We have the bonsai tree, which just looks so nice. In front of it, we have a nice candle, which is awesome. A matching bracelet with my sister. This is a Supernatural reference. Mine says jerk, hers says bitch. It's a reference to Supernatural. A Lego piece that was made for me by a friend back in like 7th grade. This is some insulin because, like I mentioned before, I'm type 1 diabetic. And then we have my controllers so I can just pick them up in game, which is always nice. And then some of the Boys Pops and Invincible. And that's right under all of these Lego displays, which right now it's a bit of a mess because I've been moving stuff around. And then halfway through I gave up because I'm starting to move. So yeah, there's that. And then we have some comic books hanging up. I like to switch these out. However, these 3 are some of my favorites because we got the Boys Rhode Island Comic-Con exclusive cover. We have Marvel Zombies signed by Arthur Sudam, the cover artist. He's known as the Zombie King. And then X-Men reprinted of Days of Future Past, which such an influential comic cover. I had to have it. And then above that, we have the cinema sign, always showing improvement, because self-improvement is something that is very big for me. Always trying to stay positive, always trying to better myself if possible. And I believe it's always possible to try and put in that effort at least. we have my graduation cap right next to the Master Sword. I have like a special connection with it. Even though this one's only foam and the other two that I have in here are metal, when it comes to great swords, there's something about it. There's something about it. Here we have the pop wall, which let me put it in 0.5 so you can really get a view of the whole thing. I know that top row is probably pissing some people off. However, I had to take out a pop figure because I'm going to meet one of the characters who was put there, and so I got to go get it signed. And that one, it went right here. It was we had a Daredevil one here, and then we also had right here we had the Andrew Garfield one, which I took out Andrew Garfield to put it with the Daredevil one because they're both No Way Home pops, and I took out the Matt Murdock one because I'm going to meet Charlie Cox very soon. And so, yeah, there's that. But on either side, we have a couple stacks of 10-inch pop figures, which I love my 10-inch pop figures, but that's as many as I'm getting because they just take up so much space, and I don't have enough space for it. But you can kind of see most of the pop figures just by this. This is the most. I don't want to get into detail about every single individual one. However, if you have one that you want a story about how I got it, how I found it, or if you have any questions about any individual ones, definitely drop a comment and I can tell you the story about how I got it. I have a pretty good memory about most of these and the story of how I got them. So yeah, if you have any questions about any individual one, definitely let me know. There's a lot of them though, and we're not even done yet. So keep that in mind. As we move in front of the pop figures, I used to have a really clean display here where all I had was the train, the swords, and that was it. But yeah, it's definitely kind of changed up a little bit. This sword rack I absolutely love. It says Warrior Road on the bottom in traditional Chinese. We have a lightsaber on the very top, Kit Fistos, which is awesome. Let me try to... This is a pain to turn on, but yeah, that's nice. We have this sword from Demon Slayer, and then this is a military saber custom ordered for my mother when she was promoted to a warrant officer rank when she was in the military. But it has my last name on it from a previous marriage, like from when she was married to my dad. And so after she was retired, she was like, "Hey, you can have this. It's got your name on it." I was like, "Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. I love me a good sword, so I'll definitely take it." Moving across the bed, we have another sword. This one was my first ever real sword that I picked up. I absolutely love this one. It is super nice. None of my swords are like too sharp, so I can take them to like a Ren fair or something if I wanted. However, they are metal. They are dangerous still. Like, it's definitely something that you wouldn't want to let a kid like play around with or something. And then right next to that, we have the Captain America shield, also metal. However, it's not like a Marvel Legends officially licensed shield. It just looks really nice, and I like that I was able to get this off of Amazon for cheap. I think it was like $30-40 compared to like $120 for the Marvel Legends one. And yet this is still good quality. Like, I've had this hanging on my wall. I've brought this to Comic-Cons. It's like a nice metal shield, and it has some very high quality straps on the back as well. I don't want to take it down right now because I'm holding my camera, and it's a pain to try and put back up with just one hand. But above that, we have a Firefly logo that I made out of Lego. I think it uses a 48x48 base plate, a 16x16, and a 32x16, I want to say. Something like that. But yeah, it is a massive display, and I love how it came out. It turned out pretty nice in my opinion. And that's right next to my TV where I can play games. You can see me, you can see the messy room in the background. So yeah, there's that. This is the other tabletop that I told you about where I'm getting ready to move. We got some Funko Pop boxes out here. We have some of my clones. We got Captain America and Iron Man. Typically, what we would have up here is this Lego display, this Kanan Jarrus lightsaber, this Obi-Wan Kenobi figure, this Miles Morales figure, and then these pop figures in the back. And everything else would be cleaned off. However, because I'm starting to get stuff together, getting ready to pack up, I was moving around some books, so we got these ones here. We got the pop figure boxes for some of my more valuable pop figures, and yeah, stuff like that. Finally, right below that and right next to my door, I have a sealed set collection, which yeah, I mean, this is just a couple of them. So let's leave the room and go check out the rest. Keep in mind, this is right outside my room. So these bins have a couple of my collectibles and some other stuff that I'm starting to pack away, like I mentioned. However, right next to my room, there's the door. We have these right here, these shelves. This is a really nice display in my opinion, because this hutch was my grandmother's on my father's side. I already talked about how, you know, mom and dad got divorced. That's out of the way. So when it came to some of the stuff like this that was on my father's side, it ends up just automatically going to me. And this was my grandmother's on my father's side. And now I use it to display some of my nicer sets. Once again, a little bit messy because getting ready to move. I don't know how many times I'll end up saying it. However, a lot of my Speed Champions I've just organized here. Typically I'd have another statue right next to that Captain America one. And then a lot of these parts I've pulled out to kind of organize. And yeah, we have some of the Lego head displays, which I gotta build the Nano Gauntlet and put that there. I got it for Christmas. We have some of the quote plaques, which are really nice, and like the movie dioramas. Some nice ships right in front of a award I got from high school. And then we have the Stranger Things display. We have some more Stranger Things themed items, the flashlight, which is nice, some of the pop figures. We have the U-Wing, one of my favorite Lego sets I ever got, and I destroyed it for parts. And then over COVID, I was able to rebuild most of it, but the engines are still missing some pieces. Someday I'll order some more. And then down here we have the 1989 Batmobile, which I never thought I would have, but I'm so glad that I do have it. It is such an amazing set. I got it for Christmas probably 3 years ago, and it's such a nice set. And right next to it, I have the classic Batmobile, so that's really nice as well. And then in here, I have a lot of different storage stuff, really. I have some pieces in this drawer here, a lot of spare pieces and smaller pieces and stuff like that. This one has some Pokemon cards. We have some sealed sets and some Star Wars stuff in here. We have some sealed sets in here and some boxes for the daggers that I have and some built sets. This one's more pieces. This one's more sealed sets. I think you get the idea. That's just kind of how I have some of my stuff organized in there. And then right to the right, on the top, we have some of the larger Lego sets. Right underneath it, we'll have some of my movies. These are just some of my favorite ones. We have some nice larger sets. Cal Kestis lightsaber, which is probably one of my favorite lightsabers. I got it tattooed on my arm. And then some statues of Dr. Doom and Deadpool. We have some nice pop figures of some of my favorite just comic book characters and then movies. And then we have some of my signed pop figures or characters that I've met. The only one on here I haven't met would be Cosmo the dog's voice actor. And then below that, we have a lot of my Marvel comics, Walking Dead comics, and some of my larger books that don't fit on my other bookshelf. Last piece of this tour is going to bring you into my podcast setup area where I just have a couple of quick collectibles. I've gone over this a couple times before and it's pretty barren, so I'm just going to do a quick pan to kind of wrap up. But, you know, I've got a couple of statues, some like cars from different medias, and then these are all different movies that my entire family enjoys. We have the orb from Guardians of the Galaxy, Jurassic Park quote set. We have Red 5, Luke Skywalker's helmet, Mjolnir, a lightsaber I built with all the kyber crystals, and then a holocron. We have the Don't Touch My Models, different little kind of light up thing, and then a light up Triwizard Cup tournament. I tried to include things that my entire family enjoys. My sister's big into Harry Potter as well. She got me into it. And then Marvel, she got me into. My mom and my sister love Guardians of the Galaxy. So yeah, there's that. I'm big into God of War. It's a very inspirational kind of storyline of becoming less angry, becoming like that God of War to the God of Peace kind of thing that I really liked. And then as we move up, we just have the Invincible comics I mentioned earlier, along with a Sprite bottle from Galaxy's Edge, a wand. We have some pop figures from Monty Python, which my sister got me to watch, and then Yuri Lowenthal signed pop figure because Spider-Man's such a big inspiration. We got Star Wars, Batman, some Pokemon cards scattered around because that's probably one of the geekiest things I collect. And then we have Cal Kestis statue, which I mentioned before. I love Fallen Order. I love the game. I love the characters. So we got a BD1 statue. And then another thing I absolutely love would be X-Men. One of my favorite probably things of media, which is what got me into Marvel. My sister got me to watch them. And so I have to have a Sentinel up there and then a couple of different Wolverines. We got the little one that came with the Sentinel 10-inch pop figure. I'm pretty sure he's a bobblehead. Yep. And then we have the action figure right behind him of Hugh Jackman as the Wolverine. So overall, that is the podcast setup, and that wraps up my my collection tour. I had other things that I wanted to hang up, like the Flash poster that's right down there, this Disney 100 poster of Lego that I wanted to hang up, but there's not really much of a point now that we're getting ready to move. So yeah, but that is all of my collectibles in one video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'm definitely going to have to update you guys when we finally move and I get everything in place. However, if things start to look barren in backgrounds when I make videos, you know why, as long as you've watched this video. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe you guys got a little inspired by some of my collectibles. And yeah, here's to moving and the cleanup process.